Haryp Eagle, the most powerful eagle on Earth. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with birds of prey. Bald eagles, golden eagles. I thought they were the ultimate apex predators of the sky. I even collected books and posters. At one point, I was convinced the Philippine eagle had to be the top of the chain. But none of them quite prepared me for the day I first saw a photo of the Haryp Eagle. It didn't look real. It looked ancient, like a creature carved from myth. Massive legs, eyes that could cut through fog, claws the size of grizzly bear talons. I just remember staring at the image thinking, how have I never heard of this before? Have you ever locked eyes with an animal, even just through a screen, and felt like nature stopped to stare back? That's what the Haryp does. It doesn't just exist, it commands. Now, I know most people think of lions, tigers, maybe even great white sharks when we talk about top predators. But what if I told you, hidden deep in the rainforests of South America, there's a bird so powerful, so silent, and so lethal, it can pluck a full-grown monkey straight from a tree without making a sound. This isn't just another eagle. This is the Haryp. And today, I want to show you why many biologists, myself included, consider it the most powerful bird of prey on Earth, not just in terms of size or strength, but sheer presence. Let's dive in. But how does it actually compare? That's the question that kept turning in my mind after I first saw the Haryp Eagle. I mean, sure, it looks like the ultimate bird of prey, but is it really stronger than the bald eagle, the golden eagle, the legendary hunters from Asia, Africa, and Australia? Eagles were the ultimate symbol of strength. I remember flipping through old wildlife books and staring at pictures of the bald eagle. Broad wings, proud posture, that unmistakable gaze. To my younger self, it was untouchable, the king of the skies. Then I discovered the golden eagle. Sleek, fast, deadly. I remember seeing footage of one snatching a fox off a snowy ridge mid-flight. It felt like nature's version of a fighter jet, and I thought, this must be the top predator. But as I kept digging, the list grew. The Philippine eagle, towering, wild-haired, with those piercing eyes, capable of snatching monkeys straight from the canopy. The martial eagle of Africa, broad and brutal, taking down jackals and antelope. The wedge-tailed eagle from Australia, stealthy, aggressive, gliding over the outback like a shadow. Each one left an impression. But then I saw a photo of the Haryp Eagle. At first, I genuinely thought it was fake. Its legs looked too thick, its face almost human. Those talons, like something out of a fantasy novel. I couldn't stop staring. It wasn't just big, it felt ancient, elemental. So let's set the record straight. When we talk about powerful eagles, names like the bald eagle, golden eagle, and martial eagle deserve respect. They've each carved out their domain with unique skills. But side by side, none of them quite match the Haryp. The bald eagle, America's proud symbol, has an impressive wingspan, up to 8 feet, but it's more of a fisherman than a brawler. The golden eagle is fast and fierce, capable of taking down prey larger than itself, but pound for pound, it doesn't carry the same brute force. The martial eagle is Africa's powerhouse. It can kill small antelope and monkeys, sure, but its frame is still slimmer, and its grip less devastating. The Philippine eagle is a rare, shaggy-feathered wonder and a force in its own jungle, but in raw physicality, it still comes in second. Even the wedge-tailed eagle, with its impressive wingspan and bold nature, doesn't quite tip the scales. Because when it comes to the complete package, weight, talon size, muscle mass, and sheer predatory presence, the Haryp Eagle stands in a class of its own. Most eagles look like raptors. The Haryp Eagle looks like a feathered bear with wings. And trust me, it doesn't just fly, it dominates. Let's break this down like a weapons expert. The Haryp Eagle's talons are the stuff of legend. Each one can grow over 5 inches long. That's about the same size as a grizzly bear's claws. No exaggeration. Its grip? Over 500 pounds per square inch. That's enough to crush bone. Now picture this. A harpy grabs a sloth clinging to a tree. It doesn't wrestle or peck. It grabs, crushes, lifts, and it's done. Its beak, hooked and razor sharp, designed not to just kill, but to tear through dense muscle and fur. Its wingspan is a bit shorter than some of the other large eagles, around 6.5 to 7.5 feet, but that's by design. In dense rainforest canopies, longer wings get in the way. The harpy is built for maneuverability, not gliding, like a flying tank in a jungle alleyway. And don't forget the legs, thick, muscular, and covered in scaled armor. These birds aren't just aerial, they're armored. This bird is physically adapted to dominate a vertical, leafy battlefield, a true apex predator of the treetops. Now, let's take a step back from muscle to myth. The name harpy comes from the ancient Greek mythology. Harpies were terrifying winged creatures, half woman, half bird, sent by the gods to punish the wicked. They weren't just messengers, they were tormentors, agents of fear. Carl Linnaeus, the father of modern taxonomy, looked at this bird and thought, yeah, this one fits the name. So, in 1758, he called it Vultur harpyja, naming it after those mythological beasts. Today, its scientific name is Harpia harpyja, double harpy, because once just wasn't enough. And when you see one in person, towering, silent, piercing eyes, you understand why. It's not just the size, it's the presence. A harpy eagle perched high above the canopy doesn't look like a bird waiting to fly. It looks like a judge ready to sentence. There's a weight to its stillness, like it's watching and calculating. Now, let's talk about the hunt. Harpy eagles are ambush predators. Unlike falcons that dive bomb at 200 miles per hour, or vultures that scan the sky for hours, harpies are patient stalkers. They move slowly through the canopy, using their short wings to navigate branches and foliage. Their hearing is exceptional, their eyesight even better. Their prey? Mostly tree-dwelling mammals, monkeys, sloths, opossums. They even go after iguanas and large birds. Occasionally, they'll pick off armadillos or porcupines. And the moment they strike, it's fast. A single rush, a crushing grip, and silence. They don't chase, they don't flail, they end it in seconds. What's even more remarkable is how rarely they eat. A single monkey might last a pair of harpies for several days. They don't overhunt. They don't waste. They're like forest snipers. One shot, one kill, then vanish into the green. Despite their ferocity, harpy eagles are surprisingly devoted parents. They build nests the size of bathtubs way up in the tallest trees, often over 100 feet high. Once a chick is born, it becomes the center of the world for the next 2 years. Yes, 2 years. That's how long it takes a harpy chick to learn to hunt, fly, and survive. The parents feed it, protect it, teach it. They don't have multiple chicks at once. They invest everything into one. It's rare among birds, but it works. And here's the part I love. Sometimes, even after they've left the nest, juvenile harpies come back. They return, perch nearby, and hang out with their parents, just like grown-up kids visiting home. It's not just biology, it feels like family. Of course, like many great creatures, harpy eagles are under threat. Deforestation has pushed them further into the shadows. In some areas, they're extinct. In others, barely hanging on. They've been hunted, sometimes out of fear, sometimes for sport. And like many rainforest species, they're running out of space. But there's hope. In places like Panama, Brazil, and Ecuador, conservationists are fighting to protect them. Nest monitoring programs, reforestation, education. Some indigenous communities consider harpy eagles sacred, a symbol of strength, resilience, and balance. And maybe, just maybe, that's what they really represent. Not just power, but presence. The quiet kind of power that watches from above, takes only what it needs, and leaves the forest exactly as it found it. So, yes, the harpy eagle is the strongest eagle on Earth. Not because it's the biggest, not because it's the fastest, but because it's the most complete. Powerful talons, incredible grip, dense muscle, unshakable presence, and an ancient legacy that reaches from myth into the jungle. It doesn't need fame, it doesn't chase headlines, it just survives. Silently, fiercely, beautifully. So the next time you hear someone say the eagle is the king of the sky, remember, not all kings fly high. Some, like the harpy, rule from the shadows.